Buckle up and strap in, cause I'm about to bring y'all some crazy top 10. Thanks for tuning into Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is September 18th, 2020, and I'm about to expose the globalist elites' agenda, power grab, and everything. It's all coming out to be exposed like a pimple, big old nasty pimple on a 13-year-old little boy's face. Hold in there, little boy. It's going to be all right. It's going to go away. But, okay, so this first article, top 10, y'all, and y'all got to stay to the end because they're rounding up conspiracy theorists. It's getting crazy, okay? First article, top 10. This is from CBS News Sports from yesterday. 10 NFL fans are told to quarantine after coming into contact with an infected fan at the Texans-Chiefs opener. Okay, so let me show y'all what this is about. This is about giving people the pretense that life is going back to normal and you can enjoy your sports game, but it's really a trap. It's really to give you the illusion that you're going to have freedoms, but the shoe coming down on your neck is about to get harder. Okay, so most stadiums have been empty. Joe Burrow played to an empty stadium, and New Orleans Saints played to an empty stadium, and some stadiums are staggering out the amount of people that can be there, socially distancing. And then they've got the scanner to temperature check and everything. So this stadium had some people in it, but the game was September 10th. So that was yesterday. This article came out. So that would have made it the 9th to the 10th to the 17th, a week. Okay, so this would have been a week that this happened. Okay, that it just got announced. So supposedly there's only two teams in the NFL that had fans in attendance for the opening week of the season, and one of those teams is asking nearly a dozen fans to go into quarantine this week after learning that there was an infected fan with the virus at its game. So if they were temperature checking people going in a week ago, then that would have made that person have to be showing a week ago. And now these people are having to go on quarantine because I'm sure they were contact traced. And so it's giving you the illusion that you've got freedom when they just want to come say, well, we tried, but it's not working, and now we got to lock down harder. So it's almost to the point I don't want to even go in public for them to false accuse me of being around somebody that had it. Article number 2, Apple helps the FBI track down protester accused of firebombing cop cars. Now, this is from yesterday. I do not agree with violence and firebombing, okay, and shooting people out on the streets and rioting, okay? I believe in self-defense, but not taking the aggressive measure and going to destroy things. But there is this thing called the Constitution, and Apple is just a provider for your cell phone usage, okay? That should not be a tracking device in your pocket. And the FBI should not have access to your information. Track me down for real criminal methods, not big brother surveillance. Now, we've always been told that Apple can't even open up a phone that's got a passcode on it for the FBI, but they are tracking down people assisting the FBI. Surveillance is everywhere. Here's article number 3. So we had article number 1, contact tracing you, technology following you. Apple number 2 article talking about your phone tracking you. Article number 3, Facebook is accused of watching you, Instagram users, through your cameras. Facebook Incorporated is again being sued for allegedly spying on Instagram users, this time through the unauthorized use of their mobile phone cameras. This is from yesterday from MSN. Okay, article number 4 is from Zero Hedge. Y'all, it's about to get bad, okay? Australia pushes new measure to detain COVID conspiracy theorists. So us people who refuse to believe the official narrative, that are calling it the virus, that says the mask or a satanic ritual, that this is a big global psyop, we are all conspiracy theorists, and Australia is pushing for measures to arrest them and detain them for what they're thinking. Weekend demonstrations have flared up in Australia over the last month as Aussies have vented their frustrations and attempted to take back control of their communities after a surge in virus cases prompted the government to re-implement some of the world's draconian social distancing measures. And if there is one thing that terrifies increasingly tyrannical governments, it's the loss of control of the narrative, which is why the Australian government is getting a jump start on curbing any so-called conspiracy theorists daring to spread information that questions the fear-mongering being used to keep Aussie citizens under lock and key. A new bill is expected to be debated in Victorian government in the state parliament this week. It gives local authorities the power to detain conspiracy theorists and people who refuse to self-isolate. So their sign right there says this is a planned global power grab. The RNA vaccine will kill millions more than the virus. Okay, so, but we can't talk about it now. People are about to start getting arrested. Okay, so what is, and don't say, well, that's in Australia. You know, look what's happening in America, and we're going to go back to that. This is from yesterday, Gateway Pundit. Police forcefully dragged man from a school board meeting in South Dakota for refusing to wear a face mask, then threatened to taser him. And this article just really pisses me off. This woman trying to take authority over this 6'8" looking man right here and thinking she's all the, Jesus help me, because we might disagree. I don't think women have authority over men, okay? And I'm sorry. The Bible says that men are the head over the woman. So here's this big old tall man trying to be a man to assert his freedoms, and this woman with a little bit of power thinks she's superior over him. So let's go back to this. Australia pushes for a new measure to detain conspiracy theorists. So what is a conspiracy theorist? Okay, a conspiracy theorist is a person that does not believe the official narrative. A conspiracy theorist is a person who investigates and finds out what the backroom conversations are. A conspiracy theorist is the people that refuse to drink the Kool-Aid and who think for themselves. Now, for years, they said if you believed that George Soros was the international boogeyman, you were a conspiracy theorist. Well, look at this. George Soros is all over the mainstream news. He was on Fox News. Watch this. This is Ludicrous. Newt Gingrich questions the Soros cover-up. He was on Fox News, and he questioned why nobody wants to talk about it. Americans can't let Twitter noise overwhelm political reality. Says, I've been watching a truly curious phenomenon over the past few weeks. It seems there is suddenly a movement in media to silence anyone who speaks out against George Soros, and specifically his funding of radical prosecutors seeking to change the criminal justice system by simply ignoring certain crimes. Newt Gingrich shut up everybody by talking about George Soros. They said it was dead air, it was awkward, not ideal. Fox offers non-apology to Newt Gingrich after awkward George Soros rebuke. Okay, then it says, I'm going to show you one more. It says, Fox News panel, long awkward silence when George Soros' name gets mentioned. A Fox News panel fell into a long period of awkward silence on air when former House Speaker Newt Gingrich mentioned the fact that billionaire activist George Soros had funded the election campaigns of progressive prosecutors across the state. The dead air time happened when the panel on Fox News show Outnumbered was discussing the violent riots in response to the death of George Floyd. This is Newt Gingrich saying this. The number one problem is almost all cities is George Soros elected left-wing, anti-police, anti-criminal district attorneys who refuse to keep people locked up, Gingrich said. Both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have talked very proudly about what they call progressive district attorneys, blah, blah, blah. Panel member Melissa Francis, without contesting any of the facts presented by Gingrich, said, "I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this." Gingrich responded, "Well, he paid for it." Fox News contributor Mary Harf then claimed, "No, he didn't. George Soros doesn't need to be a part of this conversation." Puzzled, Newt Gingrich said, "Okay, so it's verboten." So then it says, there was a long pause before anchor Harris Faulkner then said the panel would move on. So they did not want to talk about George Soros and how he's funding these riots, bringing in the BRICS, hiring the provocateurs. Now, here's another article that goes along with George Soros, which up until a while back, if you talked about George Soros, you were a conspiracy theorist, but it's in the main news now. Soros-backed coalition preparing for post-election day chaos. We're going to fight like hell. So, y'all, it's about to get really, really bad. Really, really bad. And if you question this, you're about to get round up. Article number 7. The snitching begins. Nosy neighbor calls police on wake in public garden. Britons have already started snitching on each other over perceived breaches of the coronavirus rule of 6, with one woman grassing on people at a wake in a pub garden. Ministers this week urged members of the public to inform on their neighbors if they were suspected of gathering in groups of larger than 6. Home Security Petri Patel even said that two families bumping into each other in the street and stopping for a chat could be against the law. So this nosy person said they felt like it was their duty to call the police. Okay, I felt like I had to alert the police in case rules were being broken. So people crying at a funeral, hugging each other, crying, this nosy person is going to turn them in. We got Australia saying that they're going to start detaining conspiracy theorists. We've got the NDAA in place in America for domestic terrorists. We could all be being picked up because, remember, anti-vaxxers are a threat. Look at this. Not only now are they trying to make you wear a mask, but now they're telling you what kind of mask you have to wear. Kroger is being sued for allegedly firing workers who refused to wear the rainbow symbol mask. The suit says the ex-employees hold a religious belief that homosexuality is a sin and accuses the supermarket chain of discrimination. Oh, they were supposed to want to wear it on their rainbow apron. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But still, so now you're being forcefully told you got to wear a mask. And if you don't want to wear a mask, you get arrested. And then now your employer is trying to force another piece of apparel onto your body, an apron. And if you don't wear the apron, you lose your job. If you don't wear a mask, you go to jail. So now they're trying to tell us what kind of attire we have to wear on our own body. Article number 9. Eyeglasses, this is from yesterday, eyeglasses may help protect against the coronavirus study. So now what are they going to make everybody do? Put on goggles? Are we going to take off masks now and have to wear goggles and look like little idiots that they can just pull a string and make us obey? Y'all know how a bully will say, "Kid, give me your lunch money," and the little kid's like, no, I don't want to give you my, "Kid, give me your lunch money." Do you want me to break your ankle? Do you want me to pull your hair out? So, and they think it's funny watching the little kid obey them. Okay? So the powers that be are laughing at the sheeple that's just, okay, we'll obey you. You're going to make us look like fools. You're going to make us put on whatever you want. Remember the Calling of Shame they made the restaurant waitress wear? Eyeglasses could offer additional protection against the transmission of the virus, according to a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Do y'all see everything changes by the day? Do y'all remember when the news used to be the news? But every single day, there's 15 different articles on a different angle of something. Researchers found that of 276 patients admitted in a Wuhan, China hospital over 47 days, only 16 of those people wore glasses. The city was the original epicenter of the virus, which is believed to have originated in the so-called wet market there. Researchers hypothesize glasses may reduce susceptibility to the virus by discouraging wearers from touching their faces or helping block the transmission of the virus through the tear ducts. Really? So it can't go underneath your glasses? If it's airborne, it can't go underneath your glasses? That's why I laugh at these face shields, you know, these big old face shields that look like a welder's mask or whatever. If it's airborne, it can't float underneath there? I mean, really, come on. And the last article, the U.S. military confirms that it sought information on using heat rays against D.C. protesters. Now, I'm not advocating protesting out there at all. I do believe that we need to obey the law within reason. But, okay, but this is very concerning. Let's see if I still have it highlighted. Look at this. So the United States military was seeking ways to control the riots in D.C., and they asked for permission. Here's the letter, it's the PDF. The email went on to say that the ADS, that's a system that they use, can direct a beam towards a group that provides a sensation of intense heat on the surface of the skin. This would have been warfare against Americans. The effect is overwhelming, causing an immediate repel response by the targeted individual. So the U.S. military was considering using weapons of war against U.S. citizens. Y'all don't think that America is gone. Y'all don't think that the whole world is being collapsed to usher in the New World Order when countries all over the world are implementing the same draconian authoritarian measures against people? Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what y'all think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.